Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is the Sword Campaign, a Pendragon actual play podcast using the 6th edition starter set from Chaosium. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated, share your thoughts, and join the conversation. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. Last time, on the Sword Campaign, a young squire named Arthur defied all odds, pulling the sword from the stone and claiming his destiny as the boy king. Count Robert and our loyal Salisbury Knights knelt in fealty, pledging their swords to Arthur's cause. Yet not all were so moved. Many lords departed in defiance, refusing to acknowledge the boy as their sovereign. At Carlion, us Salisbury Knights bore witness to Arthur's coronation, a fleeting moment of fragile hope in a divided land. But the peace was short-lived. The armies of 6 northern lords marched against the city, sacking the outer villages in a brutal show of force. Arthur soon understood that victory could not be won from behind walls. With courage and resolve, the boy king rallied his forces to meet the enemy on the open field. The Battle of Carlion had begun. Welcome back to the Sword Campaign. I'm joined, as always, by our forever GM, who's now a player, Ed, who is playing Sir Ian.
Why am I the forever GM? Hello.
I don't know. That is an answer. That is a question for you to answer. Pete, who is playing Sir Histelwind.
Yep.
And
Hi.
Tony, who is playing Sir Caradon.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be back.
So we open on a raven soaring through the air against the slate gray sky. The camera sweeps along with the bird as it watches the land below, a churning sea of armor and banners, as King Arthur's 1,500-strong host charges against the armies of the north, who outnumber them nearly 2-1. The raven lets out a harsh cry as the armies crash together in a violent storm of steel and grit. The camera tightens on the battlefield, drawing us deeper into the fray. It's a swirl of chaos as men on foot and horseback collide in a brutal struggle. The ground is awash in blood, littered with the corpses of men and horses. Through this maelstrom, the Knights of Salisbury charge, cutting through a Saxon shield wall with relentless fury. Then the camera shifts to King Lot, raising his heavy mace, charges. With a brutal swing, the weapon crashes into the head of Arthur's horse, sending the animal reeling to the ground. Arthur tumbles, swallowed up by the churning mass of warriors. Okay, so you're deep in the fray now. The boy king has just gone down, and you've lost sight of him in the crush of bodies. But before you can act, a sharp cry pierces the clamor of battle. Oswulf! You turn and see Count Robert on your opposite flank, his blade drawn. He stands alone among the bodies of his fallen bodyguards. A massive Saxon warrior looms before him, poised to strike. You knew him once as Sir Owen, one of Salisbury's best knights. Oswulf and Robert are both on foot. What do? Do you fight your way to aid the boy king, or rush in to aid Count Robert?
Oh, decisions. Oh.
Well, we owe homage to Count Robert. I think the decision is clear to me.
I think so. I think it is wheel the horses round and the three of us rush towards that dirty Sir Oswald.
A moment of hesitation with Sir Histelwind as he sees his new king unhorsed. But as soon as Sir Ian takes the lead, he knows where he has to go.
Sir Ian, you are the Conroy commander, so please make a battle roll for me. So you turn your horses around and you start riding toward the aid of Count Robert. you come under fire by Saxon bowmen. So what did you get? You had a 19?
So I got a 19. So I figured that I go to sort of like turn the convoy, but I'm kind of like diverted. Probably I haven't seen the lie of the land and I can't sort of like go stumbling straight through either like a bit of undulating terrain or something. Maybe that's where the archers are. So I have to kind of wheel around them. So I'm kind of like stuck, I suppose.
So this means that it'll take you 2 rounds to get to Count Robert. So within those 2 rounds, you will be suffering a missile attack. Now your shields will impose their missile attack penalties against the archers. And the kite shield missile penalty is a -10.
So presumably as we're sort of like wheeling around, we're kind of putting our shields up and kind of making ourselves small as possible.
Yeah, because you immediately come under fire. Okay. So
just lift our shields to protect our heads and our bodies as much as we can.
I guess if I'm leaning forward, I want to protect the horse's head as well to a degree. Because
let me know what posture you're taking. So it's going to take you 2 rounds to get to Count Robert. And in those 2 rounds, the archers will be able to fire upon you.
Question. I think probably just a standard.
So Valorous only allows you 2 normal rounds. Reckless will allow you 3 rounds. Prudent only allows you 1 round.
So it would have to be reckless then. If we're not going to be able to get to save Count Robert, then.
And remember, the Saxon Oswulf is the guy responsible for the death of the knights that you all squired with.
Yeah, well, the fucker's going to die.
So we can roll for hate against Saxon, right?
Actually, Marco, the rolls that for passions and stuff, is that every session?
It is every day, and this is the same day.
Okay, fine. No problem. Okay, well, yeah, reckless it is then.
So reckless will add 1d3 to your morale.
Oh, okay. Let's roll a d3. So we'll call that 3. That's a +3. So I'm on 15, 18 now. We're on 18. So now we must use the reckless action for at least the first combat round. Oh, okay. So the first thing we have to do is just be reckless for the first time. Okay. But we're basically defending, aren't we, for the first round, I'm guessing?
The first 2 rounds, because you failed your battle roll.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yes, it's basically trying to figure out whether or not we just kind of like ride through it and hope for the best. I assume that we can't like dodge it because of the...
No, so you can do the zigzag action, but you're doing a mounted charge, right? Is that what you guys wanted to do? Okay.
Well, are we close enough to the actual archers to try and disrupt them or?
No.
No, okay. So
as Sir Ian, give me a charge roll.
Charge roll. Okay. See how well we do this. Okay. I got a 16, which is a fail. Not really I've lost the lay of the land in my hatred of the Saxons.
Did you do it from the skill tab or from the combat tab?
From the skill tab.
Okay, that's why my roll won't resolve. All right, I'm just going to roll on the table here. I rolled a 6.
Damn it.
So the damage is 19, so you can deduct your armor from that.
So take away the armor, take away the... I know the shield, does that also count?
No, just the armor, because you've already used the shield. The shield already gave you the -10 to their attack.
Okay, right, cool. Ouch. Okay. Thank goodness I'm wearing my armor with all the arrows hitting it. I take 9 damage.
Narrow, sticking from your leg. I don't know.
Ow. I can't change my hit points, unfortunately.
You can't?
Yeah, you have to add a wound.
Oh, okay. Combat. Wounds. Oh, okay, right. Add a wound. So damage size wound, and then I put in. Or will it automatically deduct the armor?
It won't. I don't think.
It won't. Okay. No, you're correct. It does not. Okay, so I take the 9, and so the 9 is not below my knockdown. So it's not over my knockdown. It's not over my major wound. Okay, cool.
So make a second charge roll against the second archer who's after you. He rolled a 16.
Okay, and that is a pass.
Okay, so he has a partial success. No, he doesn't. He failed. He completely failed. So the arrow goes right over your head.
Cool.
Sir Histowin, roll your charge. He has a 7. Okay, so you have a success. He has a partial success. So a partial success versus a success means that you suffer damage minus your armor and your shield.
Oh.
So that damage is 13 damage minus your armor and your shield.
Yeah. So it doesn't get through then.
Okay, so it just ping right off your shield. So the next one who attacks you has rolled a 10, and that is a critical success.
Right. So it's another charge roll from me.
Correct.
Oh dear.
You're being showered by arrows.
I just saw Marcus' face. It was like,
26.
Ouch. So that's your total, 26.
Oh, yeah. So minus my armor, that's 16 damage. 16 is major wound.
go, you're knocked down.
It goes over my knockdown,
So
and it
dex
equals
roll.
major wound.
Yeah, so make a dex roll to stay on your horse. Ooh.
I am unhorsed.
I think it's just 1d6 for falling off a horse.
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
think it's something like that, yeah.
That is,
It was not 10d6.
So you get
bad enough, right?
you get porcupined with the arrows, Sir Histowin, and you fall right off your horse, taking an additional 3 damage and probably some of your dignity.
And you say it was also a major wound as well.
Yes.
If it says equals, yeah.
Yeah, so Caradoc, roll your charge. I've rolled a 7, so I succeeded. You're on mute.
Sorry, I just found it. I'm rolling success.
Ooh. Okay, you both roll a 7. That is a tie.
We win. The end.
Roll credit.
You both won,
it
right?
says here you both win. So, but since you're not attacking him, he doesn't obviously suffer any damage. So let me just roll his damage.
But I should be winning something, no?
You get to use your shield and your armor, I
You
think.
get to use your shield and your armor. So you can deduct your shield and your armor from that 18.
So that means that if my shield AP is 6 and my medic code, how does it work? Because it's 10, not total.
So it's 16.
So 16.
in total.
So 16 total.
So I only
Yep.
get 2.
Excellent. And now the second archer comes after you. He has failed. Make your roll.
You want me? So I could
Make
fall
your-
from the horse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
I do. I want you to fall from your horse and reopen that
There you
hole.
are, failed. By 19.
Okay, but that's okay. That wasn't a fumble or anything, was it?
No.
No.
19.
Okay, 19. Okay, yep. So
But you didn't take your knockdown damage though, did you?
No.
no.
My knockdown is 14, so.
No, the archer failed as well. So like the arrows just are flying over your head as you're charging forward. And that was the first round.
So now I have to make a decision. Do we wheel and protect Sir Histowin or continue to the Lord? Ooh. I think I might need to make a passion roll towards my homage to Count Robin, I think.
Are you even aware that he fell? Are we even aware?
I think you can be aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just see whether I'm... No. Sorry, Mr. Sir Histowin. You're on your own.
Make your charge roll, Sir Ian. Yeah, you see him fall, but your homage to your lord is more important than any one man's life.
Yeah, I mean, there's just there's no sort of like change in that, right? Okay, let's see. I continue the charge.
Okay, that's okay. You both failed. So arrows are just whizzing by you. Maybe some of them are, getting pretty close, whizzing by your ear.
I think I just realized that I'm just having to just go straight forward. There's nothing else I can do. So there's no real tactics in this apart from just go.
Exactly. And, all around you, people are fighting and there's clanking of swords and screaming and whatnot. So make another charge roll for the second archer.
Okay, hooray. That's a success.
Okay, yep. And he failed. More arrows just flying by you. I did forget to roll to see if the arrows hit your horses. So we'll do that next. Oh, that is a critical hit. Roll your charge, Sir Caradoc.
And that's a 19.
So that is
yeah.
failure. So now, let me see.
Might die here, actually. If it is critical.
Oh, it is your horse that gets hit by a critical.
Okay.
So we're going down though.
But I did love this horsey.
Sorry, Buscut.
So your horse takes 37 damage.
Does it have any armor, this charger horsey? Has 55. AP has 7. So that means it takes 30 HP, 55. So yeah, 20, 25. Poor horsey.
Okay, so give me a horsemanship roll to keep your animal under control. He's been badly wounded.
Yeah, I pass.
Okay, yeah. So your horse is peppered with arrows. He's got arrows sticking out of his body, and with your skill with the animal, you keep him charging forward toward your count, regardless of the danger and the pain that he is feeling. The second archer against you failed. He actually
So I need to
fumbled.
roll. Okay, so I need to roll
Yep.
charge,
Sure.
Yep, roll charge.
and I pass.
His bowstring breaks. As he's pulling the bow back, the bowstring just snaps. So now you have reached your lord. You guys have one more round left. Let me see. I'm just going to roll here.
To say what do we come across?
Yeah, so while you were charging forward and deflecting those arrows and coming under heavy fire, you witnessed Oswulf and Count Robert locking swords, their shields clanking. Count Robert is overmatched. Oswulf is bigger than him, a better skilled warrior. And so he's just like pounding him with the shield, knocking Robert back, swinging his sword. Robert is deflecting it with his shield, but then at one point he leaves himself open and he gets swiped and he gets knocked to the ground. You see Robert on the ground and Oswulf over him is stepping forward with his sword to run him through. What do you guys do?
Well, I'm going to run straight towards him. I've got my sword out, so I'm just going to...
Are you dismounting?
God, no. My plan is like charge past him and just like smack him from behind with the sword. I'm not shouting or anything. I'm just...
Okay.
I'm gonna take one of my spears and toss it to this guy.
You're going to
Can
throw
I
a
do
spear? Yeah, you can throw a
Yeah?
spear at him. Yeah.
Okay. Because I only have, for a spear, I only have 6. So it's 6, it's not 11 because the maximum is your horsemanship. So I guess it's just a 6. So because I'm passing by with the horse, I will just try to hit him with the spear. I mean, from the distance before we get close. Should I just roll?
Yeah, give me that roll. And you have a +5.
Oh, thank God. Because I got 7.
Because you're on a horse and he is not. So,
Okay, I pass.
so that okay. So give me the damage.
Give me a second. Wow, it's quite a bit. 26. 26. That's why I did it, because it also does a lot of damage. I pass by with my spears, like, while I shout for my lord.
So the spear hits him. Let's say it hits him in his back, and he falls forward onto the ground. The spear is sticking out from him.
Nice.
So Ian,
Nice.
Yep. But I'm going to attack him with my sword. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
this is
go.
happening simultaneously. So like as he gets hit by that spear, you might also, swipe him with your sword and give yourself a +5 because he's on foot and you're mounted.
Right. Yes, I hit him. And I do an enjoyable 22 damage to him.
Okay. So I'm going to let you
Pass by him.
So as you pass by him and a spear flies through the air and jabs him in the back and the front of it comes out the other side from his chest, you come up alongside him and I'll let you describe how exactly you hit him with your sword.
I kind of like right up, see the spear sort of jutting through him.
Is it a slash or is it a jab?
It's going to be a jab. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I hit him with so much force that as I jab him down into between the place between his neck and his shoulder, the jars out of my hand, leaving my sword stuck through his shoulder blade and kind of coming out his left armpit. And then I kind of I pass by and then wheel the horse back round to essentially go to Count Robert's aid.
Yeah. So the two of you see Oswulf. Sir Ian's sword is sticking out of where his neck meets his shoulder. The hilt of the sword is just like sticking out right there. And there's just a fountain of blood coming out of that wound. He's got Sir Caradoc's spear protruding from his chest, and he just starts gurgling, and his eyes go wide, and he just collapses onto the ground.
Feel vindicated.
That was awesome.
But realize we're still in a melee, right?
You're still in a melee, exactly.
Okay.
Well done. Should help our our liege.
I agree, Sir Caradog. Dismount.
Down my horse with my shield and my sword.
Yeah.
Get
I
close to
Go
Oswald.
retrieve my sword.
Yeah, and I
Well,
just
Yeah. Marco, is there any kind of like combat happening around us at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, you're in the middle of like, over 1,500 people trying to murder one another. So yeah, they're too, they're too busy trying to stay alive and murder the other guy that they're like, they're.
I think we should ask our squires to grab Count Robert and then we should retreat. What do you think, Sadian? We should retreat to the back, take care of our injuries, and see if Sir Estalwyn managed to get back too.
Yes, I think that's probably wise, unless our Lord wishes to do something else.
Make your squire rolls. Sir Estalwyn, you can make yours as well.
But I'm squireless at the moment because my squire is serving Count Robert.
That was at St. Albans, right? Or no, that was before you even got to St. Albans.
Right.
So like a couple of weeks, at least 2 weeks have gone by since then. So he's
acquired another squire.
He's acquired a squire, and you've got yours back. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
For the love of God, Felix, where the hell are you? I rolled a 19. No idea where Felix is.
Critical. My Owen.
Oh.
Get the squire.
So this is how you squire. Mine is how you don't squire.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're calling for your squire, Sir Ian, and you're like, Felix, and looking around. You can't find him anywhere. He doesn't arrive. Sir Caradoc, you call for your squire. I forget his name off the top of my head.
Owen.
You call for Owen, and almost instantly, like he was shadowing you the whole time, you just like appears like out of nowhere. What would you like him to do?
I want him to take care of our Lord.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I don't require any help.
Yes, sir.
Check him.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just guarding him with the shield and the sword, like checking if anybody approaches while I let Owen to the end.
He had a critical success, so there you go. Okay, so Owen has very hastily provided first aid to Count Robert and is now bearing him from the field. So you guys are all retiring to the rear, and he's carrying him. So Estalwyn, did you make your roll?
Yeah, one success.
Yeah. Okay, so your squire arrives. So he tried to provide first aid to you. It hurt a lot, whatever he was doing as he was bandaging you up. But, you won't know if what he did actually helps you until much later. So, but that also means that no one else can give you first aid for the rest of the day, unfortunately. I think that's what
he probably attempted to remove the arrow shaft.
Yeah, exactly. Ouch. So, so they're all bearing you guys back to the rear of the battle. So you're retiring to the rear. So that's what happens during battle turn 4. You're retiring to the rear. And that immediately restores 1d6 points of your morale. But your morale can never go above whatever its actual value was originally.
We're back to 22.
Okay. And as your squires are helping you all to the rear, you can hear someone shouting as other knights or wounded knights are retiring to the rear as well. And you can hear one of them saying to a companion, "King is lost. Arthur, I fear Arthur is gone." No, do not say such a thing. Have heart. The battle is lost, my friends. The king is gone. And so this malaise starts to set in amongst the knights and the foot soldiers in King Arthur's army as word of his having fallen starts to spread across the battlefield.
I asked these people, what happened? Where did you last see him? I saw him next to King Blood.
Aye, his horse went down and him with it, and no one has seen him since.
Where is the banner? Where is the banner of the king? We must go and save him.
We retrieved his banner from the corpse of his dead horse. The king was nowhere to be found.
It's captured by King Blood. Said Ian, we should do something. I'm going to roll for my passion king, if that's okay, right? Can I do that?
Can you do what?
Can I roll for loyalty king? Just to see.
Yeah, what are you trying to do with it?
Just trying to convince Ian to go and get back in the thick of it to look for him.
Serene looks kind of a bit confused because he's having to make a non-active decision. And so I'm looking around to Estalwyn, sort of like the most senior of us three.
So Estalwyn has 5 hit points. You're unconscious. Oh my goodness.
Unconscious.
Yeah. I look at him and go, shit. Okay, let's go find it.
Okay.
Feel it. Where
Well,
is that?
that Count Robert is in good condition. I guess he's well taken care of. And in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I guess that Salisbury's squire is taking care of him, and now that we've brought him at the back, Count Robert's squires are dealing with him, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess we'll get back on our horses and go and see if we can trail back to see if we can go to where Arthur had fallen.
Okay.
Yeah. I change my horse? Because I don't know if I have another war horse. I don't.
I think we've only got the one each, I think.
Your squire had a critical success. Let's say he found you a fresh horse. There's bound to be a fresh horse around here somewhere from a dead knight. Let me roll the intensity of the battle. I succeeded. So that means that the encounter is rally the division.
Ooh. So that's encounter 5.
Suddenly you see an entire wing of Arthur's army has cracked, and all the foot soldiers and the knights have turned, and they're starting to flee off the battlefield. So we can assume that you guys have like horns, and the battle calls for divisions. For division, like the certain calls that you would make to give orders, right? So either one of you can make a play instrument roll to do that.
I've got
A what?
I've got 8 in it.
Play instrument.
Play instrument. I can.
Give it a roll.
Go on then, Danny.
What is it? The play instrument?
It's the top of the second column, right at the very top above recognize. It's called play, and then in bracket instrument.
I play. Okay. Yeah, I have a 6.
Oh, that's fine.
You might want to also do it, Serene.
19.
I shall also do it.
It's not like that.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So you're confused. You're confusing everyone on the battlefield. And
what are you doing? So Kodak, it's not like this. It's like this. No, it's like this.
So, yeah, they're running off. They're still running off the battlefield. Some of them are now confused. They're not sure what orders you're giving.
You're still right. Who knows?
Now you can try to persuade them with orate if either of you have a good orate skill.
Have a 9.
I mean,
can I roll for loyalty for my king and try to do the orate? Like try to rally them?
You can only use the passion once per day, and you used it last session, which is still 10 days.
No, for the king. Loyalty for the king. I didn't use that one.
It's just one passion.
One passion per
one
day.
Passion in total. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Do you guys want to try to do this?
Sure, well, give it a go.
I think Sir Histowin is actually the best orator of the bunch, and he's unfortunately.
Yeah, and I hadn't used my passion either, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you only want one of us to roll, or?
Yeah, one of you should roll.
Tony would say it was a 9.
And I'm going to be nice and give you a +5.
I'm going to roll.
I'll be kind of like poking you in the side saying, say this, say that, Jeff.
Right.
3. So,
yes.
Says.
Well
tell
done.
Tell us what you shout to these cowards who are running away.
You don't leave your king behind. You are standing around. Let's run inside in the thick of it. Let's get these terrible, terrible knights out of here. Let's go.
I kind of add in the background, give your life your new king or something like that, and sort of like raise my spear.
My sword. Lifting my sword.
Okay. And are you on your horse?
Yes. And we're going straight. So we're going in the opposite direction of them.
Maybe your horse like rears up on its hind legs, and you've got your sword up, and you're like, for the king. And then
Anna's flattering around.
Yeah, and then everyone, the division stops, and they're looking at you inspired, and they reform into their lines, and they stand on the defensive, ready for the next battle turn. And so you all receive a +1 to your honor, and we move on to the next battle turn.
Yeah. So Marco, who's in charge of the line of soldiers, and I'll ride to them, whoever the most senior knight is.
Well, they're each divided up into smaller convoys. So, yeah. So what's your plan?
My plan is to continue on to where we saw Arthur fall and go there. So if we'll just kind of make our way, that's our plan.
Okay. Yeah. So you're riding out to that spot in the battlefield where you last saw the boy king, and suddenly a flash of light blinds the enemy forces, and you hear someone shout above the chaos, "It's the king! Arthur is alive!" And through the clash of steel and the haze of battle, you spot the boy king standing atop a crag, Excalibur raised on high, and beside him is Merlin. His calm demeanor is unbroken by the bloodshed around him. And from your vantage point, even across the chaos of the battlefield, there's something unmistakable in the way Merlin is commanding the space, an intangible weight that sets him apart from the frenzy. And at that moment, from behind you, you hear this roar, and you turn and look, and you can see the citizens of Carlion are surging out of the castle, armed with pitchforks and axes and other implements, and they fall upon the right flank of King Lot's army. And you hear King Lot sound the retreat, and his army withdraws in an orderly fashion from the battlefield, and the Battle of Carlion is over. Though outnumbered, the boy king's army has managed to fight King Lot's army to a standstill. The king of the north withdraws to lick his wounds and plan his next move. Upon your return to the castle, you clean yourselves and are soon summoned to the Solar, a private upper room within the ancient walls. The name Carlion means Fortress of the Legion, for it was once an old Roman fort. When you arrive, attendants are tending to King Leodegrance's wounds. He's stripped to the waist, and they're putting fresh bandages around him on his arms and torso. And nearby, there's a cupbearer holding a large goblet of wine that he occasionally sips from. Ah, here they are, our brave knights of Salisbury. But there are only two of you. What has happened to your companion?
He is coming. I guess he'll be brought in by a litter of people, or I'm guessing he's going to be awake by this point. Stuff.
Well, he will have been taken to like a house of healing sort of place, and he will be attended to by physicians.
He bravely fell while going to defend our Lord, but he's in safe hands with the Trojans who are dealing with him as we speak. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
So he has not passed into the other world. He's still with us. This is good to hear. You have all acquitted yourselves well today. So he just complimented you. You've all acquitted yourselves well today. So, how do you react to that? Modest or proud? How do you think you respond?
I'm proud. I just stand up and put to my heart and say, "You honor me."
I'd say something along the lines of course.
Okay, so Caradoc, give yourself a check to your proud trait, and Sir Ian, give yourself a check to your modest trait. And then the king, he sort of chuckles and he says, you are young yet, full of dreams of grand victories and glorious deeds, no doubt. Take heed. Today, victory is measured not by conquest, but by the simple fact that our heads are not mounted on pikes and being carried back to the north. He lets out a laugh, and then he winces slightly. And before either of you can say anything, the chamber door is open, and King Arthur walks in. His cloak is brushing the stone floor, and servants trail behind him. And they swiftly set up a table with bread and cheese and grapes and jugs of wine. And he surveys the room with a measured gaze. And then he turns to the two of you and he says, I am sure you are famished. Let us sit together and eat. Oh, and Count Robert came with him. Let us sit and eat together. You fought well today, and I am grateful for your strength. Our kingdom will always be in need of such arms to defend it. And then as you settle in and you all start enjoying the food and the wine that he's offered you, he says, tomorrow morning you may return to your homes, but with your Lord's permission, I will call upon your service in the coming year. And then his expression gets a little grim as he looks out the window toward the horizon. I fear we have not seen the last of King Lot. Our kingdom is as fragile as a single thread, and we must be ready to defend it.